This is a numbers game. It's not just how many times you try, it's how many times you do. And the more times you do it, the higher the chances are you make it. And it's also how long can you do the same thing over and over again until you make it or until you break. Because a lot of times we stop because we don't see the picture. And then if you would have kept going, you would have made it. But again, how long can you survive doing the same thing over and over again? That's totally up to you. I'm Jose, your owner operator at Big T's Pizza, and this is Clocked In. If you like my style of podcast, please like, share, subscribe. I'm actually going to start posting these on podcasts too for people to listen. I know a lot of times I be listening to podcasts and I'm not just on YouTube, if that makes sense. But I hope you like my content. Again, it helps me a lot if you do that. But if you don't, it's totally fine. I understand. I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to keep recording these videos and this podcast because it's a numbers game. And the more I post, the better I get at it. The more I record, the better I get at it. The more I post, I think I already said that, the higher the chances of one of these videos making it. The more I post, the more chances that people actually like it and they realize that I'm being consistent. And now I have a library of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 videos. I'm trying to do a podcast episode a week. So in a year, that would be 52. Hopefully I'm in a better spot in a year. How long will I be here recording these videos until I finally make it? We'll see. You'll see. And maybe there's only one person watching this, or maybe it's 10. Awesome. Hopefully one day it'll be 20, it'll be 100, it'll be 1,000, and I'll have a lot of subscribers, I'll have a lot of followers, but it's okay. To get there, I know that I have to do this work every single day or every single week until I make it. So yeah, this is all a numbers game. It's all repetition. And it's also how long can you do this for? Let me give you an example. I had a manager at the store, at one of our stores, that left because he said that the job is too repetitive, that we're always doing the same thing over and over again. He's not wrong, especially when you, well, actually, no, he's not wrong. Everything is repetitive. Think about it. You always have to eat. You always have to sleep. You always have to brush your teeth. You always have to go to the restroom. Let's say you go to the gym. You always have to go to the gym. You always have to work out, push, pull, legs. You always have to train those muscles. You always got to be consistent on that diet. You always got to make sure that you're not eating bad. You always got to make sure that you're doing the same thing, because if it ain't broken, then it requires no fixing it. Now, I understand that it does get boring. I like to be honest and transparent. This stuff that I do, recording these videos, it doesn't get boring. It doesn't get repetitive because I'm always talking about something different. Now, there's a point. In my perspective, of course, I'm always going to be making pizzas. Remember, I'm an owner-operator at Big T's Pizza that has this side content on. JQ is my brand on the side. So that will always be the same. I'm always going to be recording these videos. I'm always going to be talking the same with the customers. Hi, thank you for calling Big T's Pizza. How may I help you? I'm always going to be doing that. I'm always going to be making pizzas. The mistakes are almost always going to be the same thing. But the little things, the little details, that's what fully matters. For example, today I'm talking about repetitiveness. In my last episode, I talked how to start a business. But I'm always recording, so that will never change. But what I talk about does change. Same thing with my business of the pizzas. I'm always going to be doing the stuff I already mentioned, but every day might be different because today I might get a customer that might compliment me. Tomorrow I might get this really good rush. Next week I might get a really slow week. Who knows? There might be a cute girl at the counter that I get to talk to next day. I don't know. So it might be repetitive, but how long are you willing to do this until you make it? Because the more you do it, the higher the chances there are for you to make it. Now, unfortunately, that person left, which is totally fine. Whatever he decided to do, I will respect it. He didn't leave in good terms in the sense that he gave us a month notice because he was technically our manager, and he left like a week later, and then he asked if whatever. But I'm not gonna get in details of that because that's not the point of this. But yeah. It's about repetition, doing the same thing over and over again. Now, I always like bringing up analogies whenever I speak. Why? Because everything has to be brought to the reality. I'm not disrespecting any person that's up there because those people are up there for a reason. But sometimes I feel like it's hard for me to comprehend exactly what people are saying, or sometimes I feel like people say stuff that is a little generic. And I'm not saying generic in a bad way, but it's like, how can I use that in my perspective, right? So I had to breathe for a second. It's all repetition though. I notice a pattern that everybody that gives you all this advice, they always say you got to do the same thing over and over again. You gotta do it because the more you do it, not only are the chances higher for you to make it. As an example, the more videos I record, the higher the chances there are for me to have a video that pops off. The better I'm getting at doing it. I'm perfecting my craft. Now that's why I always give examples because I feel like I'm a practical person. I think I'm a regular person. I'm a simpleton. I always tell people that. I'm a simple person. Sure, I might be good with numbers or percentages in the sense that I could do napkin math real quick. I know that if I invest $10 and my return on investment is 5%, I'm gonna make I don't even know the quick math. I'm talking about quick math. Let's use a simpler number. 100 and it's 5%. I know it's $5. So half of that, 2.5. So $2.5. That was the example I was trying to give. But to give you that example, I feel like I'm just a regular Joe or a regular Jose. The only thing is that my name might be Jose, but I feel like even though my name is not one of a kind, there's not that many Jose's like me. But yeah, it's a repetition, doing the same thing over and over again. You'll get better at it, but you won't see that during the process, if that makes sense. Back to my analogy of the gym, you're going to be doing the same workouts over and over, consistently, every week, every day. Every Monday will be chest, every Tuesday will be back and bi, every Wednesday will be legs, and then Thursday you repeat it all over again, right? It's the same thing because you won't see yourself get better, but you will get better because that's the point. What's the point of athletes training? They're training because they're trying to get better. They're trying to make sure whatever they're good at, they master that skill. So once the game comes on and they have to prove themselves and do and use that skill, they use it, and they've been practicing that skill over and over and over again. Same thing with my business. How many times did I have to talk to a customer? How many times did I have to make mistakes? For example, leading people as I was younger, trying to tell people, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, trying to learn how to talk to people because everybody's different. And I didn't understand that at first. I thought that by speaking to everybody the same way, by being cool, that they were going to respect me as a leader, as a boss, as a manager, whatever you want to call it. But that's not the truth. Yes, of course, you could be friendly with your employees, but you can't always be friendly, and you need to know when you need to play good cop and bad cop. There's times where I have to be the bad dad, and sometimes I could be the good dad. But when I need to be tough, I do it because I've learned that over time of doing this over and over and over again, arguing with people having differences, people not listening, people giving me attitude, and I've learned how to deal with that. But how did I learn? By just doing it. Not just trying, by just doing it. And I kept repeating it because at the end of the game, it's all a numbers game. Now, one more example I like to give. Again, back to the point, I like giving examples a lot for the same reason of practicality. And practicality and simplicity are king because if something's simple, then it works. One example before I give you the other example. For example, In-N-Out has how many items? Well, many of you guys might not know this. If Californians know what In-N-Out is. So we'll go with something a little bit that's more nationwide. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has chicken sandwich, a spicy chicken sandwich. They have like chicken nuggets and tenders, right? But they only have about 4 items. And yeah, they have the deluxe and the regular and stuff like that, right? But it's simple, it's practical, and they have a really good business. They have a really good model. They have a bunch of stores. So it's like, maybe I could do that with Big T's. Now, my last example that I was going to give before I interrupted myself was when you're trying to get at a girl or a guy, right? How can you get good at having game? You're probably going to talk to the first girl and you're probably going to have no game unless you have natural riz, right? But usually it's not like that. Most people that have good game is because they've been doing this for a while. They keep repeating it. Why? Because it's a numbers game. The more you ask the girl out, the more you try to talk to the girl, find different ways to talk to different girls because everybody's different, right? Not the same approach won't have the same reaction with every person. Sure, this punchline might have worked good with this girl, but it didn't work good with the other girl. And now you might be saying, what does this have to do with anything? When you have a piece of advice, if you can apply that, and again, this is just my opinion, if you can apply that to multiple instances, multiple examples, then I think that's good advice. Now, I'm not saying that if the advice given is only good for one thing, then it's not good advice, because it's decent advice still, as long as you could have some positive out of it. But a lot of things are kind of like the same. Why? Because it's all a numbers game. It's all about patterns. For example, oh, I don't even have to give another example. It's just all, I keep giving examples. It's all a numbers game. So yeah, it's all repetitive, and of course it's going to be boring. Of course you're going to have some bad days, and yes, you're going to have good days, but you're always going to be doing it until you get better, because once you make it, then that's a different ballpark, because you've already made it. But you won't see that again during every day of you doing it. You're going to be splitting game with 20 different girls, and you're not going to see how that's good because each one said no. And then you try again for girl 21, and it's like, oh shoot, I knew what to say, and she actually liked it. She told me one thing, she denied me, but I was able to divert that, and then boom, I got her attention. It's just an example. I tried one different thing of marketing for my store, for my second store, and it didn't work. So I'm gonna try something different. But as I tried different things, I realized, this works, that doesn't work, this works, that works, this doesn't work. Oh, okay, I see the clear picture now. So if I want to open store number 3, that's my example, is I know how to market now because I've been trying different ways of doing it. But yes, trying and doing are two different things. But you have to stay consistent with the numbers game. Now, I know that sounds like a little paradox, but think about it like this. Let's say I try Google Ads, right? And I try Google Ads for 1 month, and I feel like it didn't work. Now, back to the plot, the theme of this podcast episode, it's a numbers game, right? How long will I be doing this for till I make it? So what if after 1 month I say, oh, my Google Ads aren't working, and then I stop and I go to something else? I start trying Instagram Meta ads. How do I know that Google Ads didn't work if I only gave it 1 month? Because it's a numbers game, and how long will you be able to do this until you make it? Because sometimes we're right there, but we won't see it because we're right there. But as you're doing this numbers game, you have to perfect the craft, and you won't be doing it. You will be doing it consciously, but at the same time, you'll be doing it subconsciously, because of course you could be thinking, how can I do this better? How can I make this pizza better? How can I run Big T's more efficiently so there could be less mistakes? And I'll be thinking about it, right? But I'm not going to have all the answers at that moment. Maybe, but that almost never happens. Usually how it works, from my example, my perspective, is I'll think about the whole thing, and I'll use a little bit of AI. I'll talk to ChatGPT, and I'll be like, hey, I have this little conundrum. I noticed that every Friday, that when we get really busy, we get a bunch of orders, and we get this chokehold, and we could get it done in 30 minutes, but it gets done in 45. And I start thinking, how can I do that? How can I get it better, right? And I might not have an idea, or I might get an idea and I'm like, no, that doesn't work, right? Whatever. Next Friday comes, and then I just start doing my thing. How are we gonna do this better? Actually, I'm gonna put an employee here, another employee there, and I noticed something different. The same volume, but it was done quicker. Why? Maybe because I put a different person somewhere else, or maybe I tried something differently, or I thought, oh, you know what? Let's use the extra space that we have to be able to put these wings in, so the wait time could be a little bit quicker. And now I just have to put an extra person at the oven because the oven's a little bit more full than usual. And as long as everything's cooked, it's going well. And guess what? I didn't think of that on the first day, right? I thought about it 2 weeks later or whatever time later. But you're perfecting the craft. You're getting better at it. It's the same with every example I've given so far about big T's or getting at a girl or going to the gym. You're not going to lose 100 pounds in 1 month of going to the gym or dieting. You could lose 100 pounds in maybe 6 months. That's going to be a little tough. You could for sure, a little bit more easy, lose 100 pounds in a year. And in 2 years, as long as you stay consistent, you keep doing it, you should lose weight. Now, every situation is different, but you should lose weight. I didn't see it with Big T's number two, store number two for a year. It was tough because I wasn't really, I was negative like a month or two. I wasn't doing any marketing, and I've talked about this before, and I wouldn't see it. I was like, there's no way. Like, how am I going to make it? Like, these numbers are crazy. I have to work every single day. Well, it's actually five days a week. I have to work 5 days a week, and it's like, I don't mind doing this, but what's the end game goal if I don't see something positive out of this? I wouldn't see it. So I kept perfecting the craft. I kept thinking of different ways of how I could make it better. By that I mean marketing. While I did that, I kept talking to customers, making sure my customer service was good, making sure that our pizzas are good, making sure everybody's trained good. But I didn't do that consciously. It just happened over time. A year and a half later, I'm not at that store anymore like that. And I'm thinking about opening store number 3. And if that happens, I'm going to go from working 60 hours a week from that store, then later on to about 15, 20, to about maybe 5 hours a week from that store, literally in the business. But I've noticed that a lot of times customers that are from the Whittier store, they'll go and tell me, oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. And I'll be like, oh my God, me either. Where have you been at? I've been at the other store, our Rialto store. I've been doing this. They're like, oh, okay, cool. And I'll ask them, have my employees been serving you good? Yes, they have. Same good pizza, good quality. And it's like, why did that happen? Because while I was having bad moments thinking that I'm not going to make it, I make sure that every employee that I have kept perfecting their craft. I make sure that I was treating all my customers right, which even after I still do, right? Making sure I treat all my customers right so they could keep coming back. And all that compounds into something better. Because again, I didn't see it at first. For example, when I first started, we were selling about 5 to 10 bags of flour a week. Right now we're at about 25 on average. Sometimes we hit 30, sometimes we hit a little bit less. But that's the point of all this. It compounds together. It's repetitive. And again, some people are willing to try it. Some people are willing to do it. And the people that make it are the people that do it. And the people that make it are also people that have been doing this repetitively for a while until they make it. Because I don't believe in luck. Or if luck existed, I make my own luck. And if using that analogy, it's not luck, it's skill. It's perfecting the craft. Because the more I do this, the better I get at it, if that makes sense. So if I'm good at it now, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I get to do the marketing. I get to do, well, for example, marketing is the best way. That's the only way you get people, right? How will customers know you're there if you're not marketing, if you're not advertising, if you're not letting people know, right? So now I know, hey, in order for this to be somewhat successful, if I open store number 3 to give you a better example, is I gotta make sure I do marketing from the start. So if I open store number 3 and it's successful, knocking on wood that it really is successful, knocking on wood that they do hit me back up, guess what? It wasn't luck, it was skill, because I used a little bit of my luck and a lot of risk to be able to make store number 2 happen. Now I'm gonna take off the element of luck and I'm gonna implement the element of skill into that, because now I've been doing this for 2 years. The expansion not working literally at the store because I have about 13 years of experience. I'm gonna apply all that skill and that risk to store number 3, and boom. If it's successful, it wasn't because of luck. It was because of skill, because I perfected the craft. Or maybe I didn't perfect it, but I kept mastering my craft because I kept repeating myself. I kept doing the same thing over and over again. Sure, it might be boring, but I'm making it, right? Well, in my perspective, I'm making it. And that's the point. Everybody's point is different. Everybody's end game is different. Some people might be comfortable with making $100,000 a month. Some people might be comfortable with making $100,000 a year. Some people might be comfortable with making $100,000 every 2 years. This is just examples. Whatever you're comfortable with, whatever your end game is, in order to make it, it's going to be repetitive to make it to that, no matter how big or small it is. Now, for me, I have like this really big dream that I know that won't happen. And I know people are going to say, don't say that. Don't say it won't happen. But realistically, will I ever make Big T's go national? Probably not. Like, not in my lifespan. Not unless if I go with private equity or something like that, franchise. Stuff that I don't know, I don't understand yet, and stuff I don't know if I want to do. But I want to have at least 5 to 10 stores. And I know 5 to 10 stores sounds like, wait, they're two different numbers, but for me, store number 3 is what makes me know if I can do more, because I feel, off of all the research I've done, off of all the repetitive and all the doing of working at the second store and trying to raise that one to be at where it's at, and everything I've done, I know that if store number 3 happens, maybe with me working 60 hours for the first couple weeks, first couple months, but I know if I can make that work, I can make that happen and replicate that to scalable businesses. Because, side note, what I've been doing on the side as I wait for store number 3 to happen is that I've been recording myself do training videos. None of this, right? I've been doing training videos. So now that if I want to train somebody, I don't have to be there. They just watch my videos. I'll show them my videos, and now I have training videos for the people that train the people, if that makes sense, so for leads and managers. So that I know that whoever's training the new employees at a store that I'm not going to be at is training them to my standards or the Big T standards. That's one thing I've been doing. I actually have a playbook that I created too. With this playbook, same thing. Everything that I've thought of is how I would like my leads and my managers to run the stores in the future. This is how they're going to run it. And they're going to run it with this playbook. It's all written down. It has everything. It has roles, it has templates, it has anything you could think of. And if anyone's here listening to this part, and if you would like some help with that, I'm not, trying to sell you something or anything like that. But I mean, I've been thinking about offering services like this to other business owners or people that it could benefit. So if you like, comment below templates. We'll use templates, even though that doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. But templates, and I'll hit you up, and we'll see if we can work something out. But again, that's not the point of this. While I was thinking of how do I open store number 3, I didn't just sit there on the sidelines waiting for that to happen. I was acting on it, and acting on it doesn't mean you're actually going to open store number 3. For me, acting on it was seeing what elements, what pieces of the puzzle I need for store number 3. When store number 3 gets here, what do I need to have so that once it happens, boom, the puzzle's right there, and it doesn't require a lot of hard work. It doesn't require sacrificing for a year and a half, even though I don't mind doing that. Sacrificing for a year and a half, being sad because, oh my God, nothing's working. Customers don't want to wait 7 minutes for a large. They think 11.50, 11.25. 11.25 was the price when I first started. 11.25 is too much for a large. They want it hot and ready. It's like, no. Like, that's going to happen. You can't, customers are going to be customers respectfully. But all that time, instead of just staying there hoping for it to happen, I perfected my craft. Well, I haven't fully perfected it, but I've been perfecting it. I've been making sure I have all the puzzle pieces. And guess what? All that is repetitive as heck too. Because you don't know how many times I got home after an 8, 10, 12-hour shift, right? Tired. I was like, you know what? I got to do this. And I got to do this tomorrow. I did this yesterday, and I'll probably do this next week. Why? Because once this is done, then I don't got to do it. But I know myself. Usually after I'm done doing something or I'll finish something halfway, I'll think of something different. I've been building an AI tool for like 2 months now. I stopped building it like a month ago. But if I ever finish it, that AI tool is going to be like everything. Like I'm talking about, I've had to answer like 250 questions or something like that, and I'm making sure that my answers have details with my brain. But again, that's more on that later. I'm not telling you, oh my God, I have this AI tool. No, but that's just a thought I've had. And why I've had that thought? Because I have a lot of ideas, and I know that I gotta be repetitive. But the thing is that you need to put most of your effort onto it, and you can't be multitasking, because then you have like a bunch of half-finished products like I do. So I have that AI tool is half finished, and I technically want to do training videos and help small businesses with modernizing or finding a better flow, a better system. Because if you have, to an example I gave earlier, if the wait time is 45 minutes, but it could be done in 30, but the way your system is implemented, it's not as efficient. If I could go to your business and tell you, hey, from my experience, if we could do this, this, and that, your efficiency will go up and your wait times will go down. With wait times going down, instead of waiting 45 to 30, and now you're waiting 30 minutes, guess what? You have possibilities of making more money. Now, I'm not telling you, oh, you're going to make more money if you listen to me or you do this, right? But I'm giving you a good advice, or you're paying me or whatever for me to give you this really good advice so you could do that. I have that side idea too, right? And I know I could do that because I've done it before with my dad and Big T's. I've done it with the second store, and I'm going to hopefully do that once store number 3 happens. But guess what? If I do that, I got to get good at it. I got to go and keep doing it and repeating this over and over and over again until I do it, because it's a numbers game. And remember, there's 3 parts of this. It's not just like how much am I going to try to do this? It's how many times you actually do it, and it's how long can you last yourself doing the same thing over and over again until you make it. So it's a little paradox, a little conundrum there, but if you're trying to make it, you got to do it. And the truth is that repetition is boring, like extremely boring. But I said this, the small moments, in my opinion, the small moments in life are what make life beautiful. Because back to my example, we're always going to be doing the same thing over and over again. Those small details are the details that you cherish forever. Like, think about it like this. If I give my girl some flowers randomly, she'll love that. Like, just simple $20 flowers, she'll love that, right? Like, that will be the best thing for her. It was a simple detail. Oh, hey babe, I hope you're having a good day. I've been busy all day at work. I hope you have a good day. Those small little details make the day better. They make your life better. So that's what I think. Repetition is boring, and our lives are technically boring because we're always going to have to do a lot of things. But the little moments are what makes the difference. But ask yourself this: would you rather be bored and win in life, or would you rather not be bored and not win in life? Be entertained and stuck. Because think about it like this. I'm not trying to diss anybody, but they say that money doesn't, what is it? Money doesn't cure depression, but I've never seen a sad person on a jet ski. No, but what I'm trying to say is that I'd rather be a boring person, because a lot of people, like, let's say I have a coworker. He'll ask me, "Oh, have you watched this movie? Have you watched this show? Have you done this? Have you gone to this place?" And I'll tell him the honest truth every single time. Do you like to go drink? Do you like to go to the casino? He'll ask me all these questions. He always asks me a different question, and I give him the same repetitive, boring answer every single time. And if you want, put in the comments below so you could guess what it is. But if you should already probably know what you think it is. Oh, and one more. Do you do sports betting? Right? I tell him and every single person the same thing. I have a boring life. I work a lot. I have 2 businesses, and I'm trying to expand the business. And now recently, I also do podcasts and YouTube and videos on the side. So I don't really have free time. Oh, and above that, I literally play pickleball whenever I get a chance, and I have to cook my own food. So no, I haven't watched that movie. No, I haven't watched that show. In my free time, for example, my hour drive to Whittier, I listen to podcasts and YouTube videos. I try to empower my brain. I don't watch that show. I don't really listen to music, except if I'm working out, or if I'm with a cute girl or something like that. Or if I'm with somebody and they're like, "Hey, we're jamming now. Put something on." Fine by me. Whatever it is, I'll vibe to it, right? But I always tell them the same answer. Oh, do you bet? I don't. I invest my money in the stock market. Whatever money I have left, I do like $250, $300 a week. Like, I don't have any money, because all the extra money I get goes straight into stock market. I'm trying to worry about my future. Right now that I'm young, I don't want to be older and not have prepared and something bad happen and me not be able to work as hard because I'm older. And again, everybody's different. Everybody has different situations. Some people are lucky. In my example, you could say that I'm lucky that my dad had the business to begin with and I expanded it. Albeit, I'll give you that. And I understand life happens. Some people have kids. I still don't have kids. So I'm lucky that all these situations are in my favor. But I don't want to get to a point where I wanted to be entertained instead of being boring and bored and repetitive and been YOLOing my whole life and get to a point where I'm 50, 60, 70 and I don't have nothing for me. Because what happens is nobody is there for me. Exactly. You don't know. So I always tell them the same answer. Oh, nothing. I work. Oh, I don't really watch shows. I don't really watch movies. I don't bet. I'm not a betting man. I say if I'm not a betting man, but I bet you that this is right, is usually because I'm like confident that I'm going to be right. So I'm not really a betting man. But if you ever say I bet you this, it's because I think I'm right. And I'm almost always right in that perspective. But yeah, that's the truth. To the manager, he said that it's boring. Good luck wherever you're at right now. Honestly, if you're watching this, good luck. But wherever you're going to be at is going to be the same thing over and over again. Doesn't matter if you're with me or you're over there. I don't care in that sense. Of course, I care for him, right? And I cared for him when he was my manager. But I don't care where you're at. You're going to be doing the same thing over and over again. It doesn't matter what job it is. Now it's just, is that the place you're going to be at, comfortable doing that? Do you think that the future in that place, or in that whatever you're doing, is going to have a good return on investment in the future? For example, if wherever, let's say he's an electrician now, do you really think that being an electrician is going to be the thing that makes you successful? Then go for it. Repetitive. Keep doing it. It's going to be boring. Don't tell me that it's boring. Just realize that whatever you're doing is going to be boring. It doesn't matter if you're with me or you're over there, right? And now maybe I've seen people get rich, so maybe I know I'm not correct when I say that slow and steady wins the race. Although for the most part, slow and steady wins the race, right? And no, not every person has to be boring. Not every person has to be me. People can have balance and actually have a life. But I know that there's people that say that they got rich quick, and maybe it might not be true. But I think even if 80% or 90% of those people are lying, that means 10% are correct. So if it's 100 people, at least 10 of those actually got rich quick with whatever's given. And I know times are tough. And everybody talks about right now, it's the hardest time to make $1 million, but it's also the easiest time to make $1 million. And they're not wrong, although I don't know how. If I'm honest, I like transparency. I don't know how some of these people do it quick. But what I do understand is Big T's in the pizza place. And what I kind of understand is this. But I see a pattern in all of these. Repetition. It's a numbers game. Whether it's slow or fast, they're doing the same thing over and over again. What are they doing? They're selling whatever they're selling a lot of it, right? Because that's how you make money. You got to sell something. Let's say they're selling courses. How are they doing it? How did they get rich? Well, they sold a lot of courses. But how did they get a lot of people to buy their course? Well, maybe they recorded a lot of videos, or they recorded videos. Or it doesn't matter. It's all a repetition game. So if you're going to be watching my videos, I give you a practical side of this. I give you something that's simple, something that I understand. Because there's a lot of ideas that I don't understand. And I like simplicity. I like common sense. Stuff that's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, this could be applied to something else. Because if I don't understand it, and I know other people won't understand it. If I'm Jose, and there's a lot of Jose's, and I don't understand it, then I know a lot of people won't understand it, if that makes sense. This hasn't been my experience. Getting rich quick. Like, I don't know how I be seeing videos and they're like, oh, I made $100,000 this month. It's like, awesome for you. Like, I don't know how to do that. I wish I know how to do that. But my advice is just be careful, because not everybody has good intentions. You could say that about me. I try to be honest and transparent. That's my side. Honesty and transparency will win, in my opinion. And I know that there's a lot of people that say, oh, they do get rich quick, do this, do that. Just buy my course. You see the point? Oh, okay, so you probably rented that car. You're probably not rich. You're probably just trying to show off for people to think that what you're doing is correct. You buy whatever you're selling, and that's how you're making your money. Let me give you a good example. I had a friend who was in this group, and they would do forex trading, trading in the, what is it, forex, the global stock market or whatever. And like the founders were like really rich people, right? Millionaires. And they were like, oh yeah, get rich. Well, yeah, they would say get rich quick because they told me about it. And they said, you just have to be in our membership so we could give you the proper skills and tools to do it. Now, I this might sound weird. If you're paying 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever amount of $1,000 to learn something, go for it. Empowering your brain is amazing. Like, you should always be empowering your brain. Example, I don't understand marketing fully. So guess what? If I pay someone $5,000, $10,000, credible person that shows me how to market good and what I should be doing, I could get those $5,000, $10,000, whatever it costs me, and I could apply that to my business. Don't you think with those $5,000, $10,000 I could amplify that and make Big T's expand, because now I understand marketing. I understand the operations because I'm an owner operator at Big T's Pizza. I understand the operations of Big T's. I understand the people problem. I understand the HR and the logistics. Now I only need to worry about marketing. I could pay somebody to teach me marketing, or I could trial and error myself until I make it. It might take me 6 months, it might take me 5 years, right? Or I could pay someone and save that time, because with those 3, 6, 7 months, 5 years, I could triple, quadruple, 10x my money, right? But the group was, you had to pay $250 a month for them to give you tips. Like, basically they said, oh, buy this, buy that, buy it right now, sell it right now, and this is how you'll become rich. My homie would follow those instructions and he didn't get rich. Like, he actually lost money. But they kept selling him the belief that he was going to get rich. There was about 10,000 people subscribed to that. Do the quick math. I don't have my phone, it's recording. 10,000 times $250 a month. To 250, add 4 zeros. They would make around $250,000 a month off of selling the fact that you could get rich like us if you just follow my tips. Now, again, respect the hustle, respect the grind. I'm not talking smack about it. I'm just saying that's crazy. That's a lot of money a month. Like, that's how much I sold in pizzas in one year. Like, to put that into perspective. So it is possible to get rich quick. I don't know how to do it, but I know that people could do it. So, practicality, but again, it's a numbers game, repetitive. They're doing the same thing over and over again. They're telling people, hey, I know how you could get wealthy with the forex exchange market. I think that's what it is. I know I took a pause right now, but it's just like, it's crazy. So it's possible, but you got to do it. You got to do it for a while, because I don't think they just started today and they were like, oh yeah, we got 10,000 people subscribed to our thing, right? Probably took them a long time. But all that is repetition. It's going to be boring, and I'm going to keep doing this until, look, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be doing these podcast episodes for at least a year consistently, 1 episode a week, as long as I have time. Because if I open store number 3, I might not have time, but I'll make it happen. That's why I don't like editing. I just, one take, I'll edit it to put my logo of my brand, and just so I could get like the little preview, but no editing anything out. Whatever I said, if I made a small mistake, I'm posting it. I don't care. I like raw. I like authenticity. I think that's my niche, whatever. That's my superpower. Just be yourself. So, yeah, and hopefully I can grow Big T's. Hopefully I can grow this content. I might do it for a year. I'm going to do it for at least a year. I don't know about 3 years, but 1 to 3 years is what I'm trying to do this for. And if I don't make it, then I'll think about it, because I'm a person that doesn't like quitting. So, yeah, if you like this, I hope you're still here. If not, it's fine. I'm still going to say this part. that's it for this episode. It's all about numbers, and it would help me a lot if you like, share, and subscribe. At least subscribe. Put the follow button, whatever. If this is going on podcast, Apple Podcasts, and what was I gonna say? Shopify, Spotify. I don't know how that works. So yeah, please like, share, subscribe. It helps me out a lot. It helps me when I see a 1 subscriber a day right now. That's my rate. It's like, dab. Yeah, we're bringing back the dabs. I'll be getting so excited because I'll be like, I'll be 77 and nothing, and I'll check nothing, and then like at night I'll be like 78. I was like, oh my god, I got 78 subscribers. Right now I have 79 subscribers. It's like, oh my god, I started in December. That's basically almost one a day, and it's like, yes. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. I hope you like. Please, I'll see you on the next time. We're probably going to be talking about AI, I think.